What's going on, guys? King Shrats here, back with another video on the channel. And today is that clean food, boring day that nobody really likes to see, but we did it anyway because that's how we do it here. Let me walk you through the process because I didn't have sound. My microphone was not on when I was recording the cooking section of this, so you can't hear anything. So it sounds kind of bad, but it doesn't matter. What I did here is I had some chicken I marinated with some G. Hughes lemon herb wet seasoning. That was the marinade, but I also added some seasonings that you can see. I'm going to put that all up on the screen right now, but there's smoked paprikas in there. I don't know. They're there. I forgot what I did because I just freestyled, but I lined the seasonings up for you, obviously, and then we put that into the air fryer, my big boss. I have 4 air fryers at this point, but that's my favorite one when I'm dealing with bulk chicken. So did that 35 minutes, 375 degrees. You don't have to turn it over because it's a convection oven. It's why I like using it so much. So that is what you see right there. That's why I call myself the Chicken King, because I make it entirely too much. Also put some pineapple in the air fryer. I love pineapples, for my favorite fruit. And then we have got some health rice, which is just the basmati rice mixed with some cauliflower rice, a little bit of tomato paste, as well as whole tomatoes, some saffron, and the achote paste, which is like the yellow seasoning, the sazon. I forget what it's called too. I'm the worst at recipes you'll ever meet in your life. That's me. But before I do that, y'all see this? Not this. This is the truff. We're going to get to the truff in a minute. But this right here, I have got a little treat, which I am super excited to try. This is actually ice cream. Now, I know there's some of you out there that are ice cream aficionados, so let me break it down. We actually have the highest rated ice cream parlor in my area. Yes, we do. It is a place known as Mike's Ice Cream. It is located in Seacaucus, New Jersey. And on Google, it's not on DoorDash, nobody's DoorDash and ice cream, I hope. It has a 4.8 star rating out of 256 ratings. Now, I've heard nothing but good things about this place from a lot of people. And in particular, they have a flavor that only comes out in the fall. And we got a hold of it. It is called Witch's Brew. I don't know what's in it because I didn't ask, but I believe it's Oreo and there's a pumpkin ice cream base. And supposedly they put a sign up. I saw it on Instagram. Maybe I can get the picture. And it said, Witch's Brew is here. So I was lucky enough to score a pint. And here it is. So I'm excited about this. I'm not really a big ice cream guy, so don't expect like some of these in-depth flavors. But oh my goodness. This is my first time opening it. Y'all know, like, it's still covered. You can see the top, but look. You can see the Oreos already. Like, that is a whole big-ass chunk. Shit, this is ice cream? My voice just went super sus. I hate that fucking laugh on this guy. Look at this though. Like, okay, there's ice cream and there's whatever the hell this is. Like, that's just Oreos, bro. Like, there are more Oreos than actual ice cream in here. This has got a bang. I don't really like pumpkin stuff, you know, judging by the fact that I'm not what the average pumpkin user looks like, and I don't drink Starbucks either. But look at that. I'm like, y'all hear it? Bros and ladies. This is not ice cream. This is not ice cream. This is not ice cream. Look at that. Look at this. Look, I'm just throwing ice cream in your face today. Look at this. That's so many Oreos that, holy, all right. If you're new to the channel, hi. Oh, that's good. If you're new to the channel, if I make that face, it's a good sign. This, the fork out of here. This is wild. I don't really like pumpkin stuff, but this doesn't have like that pumpkin spice basic stuff to it. It's like the pumpkin base itself reminds me. That's so good. This is not ice cream. This is like Oreo. Wow. I see why people go crazy over this. Yo, I mean, there's like a ridiculous Oreo to ice cream ratio that might be like a 1-to-1, which is not normal. Normally the mix-ins is like the second part. I think I just drooled in my own damn cup. Holy shit, that's so good. Trader Joe's has a pumpkin cookie butter they brought out a while back. Like, it's one of the few pumpkin products that I actually like. I don't really like pumpkin stuff. This is like, I saying like over and over again. I don't even talk like that. This is turning me into a basic. I just said like 40 times. I can see why people fiend for this. This is wild. This is super good. But pumpkin based. is more pumpkin pie than pumpkin spice. And it's so simple. It is literally pumpkin based. How many times did I just say pumpkin based? I can't even think. My flavor just right now, like, that whole thing is like this. This is, I've always talked about chunkage in ice cream. Look at this. What are you telling me, my boy? What are you telling me? I ain't gonna much lie to you. I don't like pumpkin shit. This is easily the best pumpkin shit I've ever had. That's all I got. And I love Oreos. And I'm literally chewing this ice cream. That is... If you live in my area, and if you don't, like, my bad. I know people be ordering with gourmet shit. I don't even know how much this shit costs. That's fire. And it's gonna be very hard to peel me away from this. I don't even want to know the calories in this. There's gotta be an entire container of Oreos in this. And it goes all the way to the bottom. They did not skimp on shit. That's crazy. Like, I don't really rate things, but this is a 5 basic white chicks out of 5. Unbelievably good. I have to stop eating this. Holy shit, I put this away. I have to put this away. One more. Go away. I'm putting this in my freezer. I'll be back. Unbelievable. Mike's Ice Cream, Seacaucus. Highest rated? Yes. Oh my goodness. Alright. Let's go on to the boring ass food now. I don't even know where to go after that. That was... But anyway, now we got chicken and rice. Yay. Alright, let's get into this chicken now. Look at that bark. All done in an air fryer. Looks like I grilled it too in it. Look at that. Run it. What did I put in here that was spicy? I liked it. I don't know. Delicious. Mmm. Delicious rice. Get out of here. Fork. Forks are so whack. There is something about sweet and spicy with the pineapple. I'm sorry for that loud ass smack. I heard that. That was fucking bad. I have a really good microphone. I'm really not even talking loud right now. But my microphone's good. I know it picks up every little smack and chew. Y'all be like in the camera watching this disgusting shit. I heard it again. But it's juicy. Juicy mouthed it. Did y'all notice this? This is from the BJ's Brewhouse video I did yesterday. If you didn't see it. That's 64 ounces of soda in the bag. So, after I finished the soda, I looked at the bag, I'm like, nah, we're using this shit. That's why I did it. I like drinking out of the bag now. And for all you people that are adults and drink adult beverages, you can just drink like that. Like, squeeze a bag. That's a dub. But if you're an adult, you can make you a little adult slushy type, or whatever you want to put in there. I got the idea actually from college. Because people used to walk around with the box of wine. And they'd take the box, and inside the box was a bag. There was a bag in the box of wine. So, people used to walk around parties with a bag like this, and we just squirting into people's mouths. What a time to be alive. The only thing I don't like is 64 ounces. They need a bigger bag. Like if they could do like a drink garbage bag, or maybe even like a Dollar Tree bag, because those are pretty big. Something bigger. W idea though. Like you could take that in your backpack. You know what I'm saying? I just like it. So I'm gonna have to order from there again. I think I'm gonna get like 2 more bags of soda. It had lemonade too. It's funny because I just found out about this brew house place. I want to say like last Friday. Not even. No, it was Monday. It was this Monday. Damn, I don't even know what day it is. But a lot of y'all have had this shit. I've never even heard of it. I didn't know it was a franchise until yesterday. And the amount of people that commented on yesterday's video and Instagram posts and all that stuff. Oh yeah, you gotta try this. Tell me you didn't get this. Tell me you get that. Like, I know that menu's big. How many times have y'all eaten there? So I might have to go back there again and get a whole different lineup. Without the pizza. Because the pizza was fire. I already know that. So maybe I'll do like the bar pie. I got the bar pies. That might be the play. But y'all threw out like 77 different things. Y'all like, you didn't try the jambalaya. You didn't try the avocado egg rolls. Yeah, I'm like, I got like 7 things. But the one thing everybody agreed on, which at least I got that right, the Pizookie. Every person who's been there said the Pizzookie's a bomb. And you saw me have, you didn't see the video yesterday. I definitely concur. Dangerous. Super dangerous. But if you're watching this, you probably watched the one yesterday, which I appreciate. Because my real life friends, they don't watch my shit. But then they ask me. How many people I know do that shit? That includes my own family, people I grew up with, clients. They'll see the post on Instagram, which is, you know, a lot of people only look at that. But it's only 32 seconds to a minute. They're actually shorter now because since I've been shadow banned on Instagram for like God knows how long, at this point, we're coming up on about a year where half my followers can't see my post, which at the end of the day we move. I'm still going to post it anyway, but a lot of them will say things and be like, wow, I haven't seen you on my timeline in a while, or, you know, why'd you stop posting? They're right on my post. I'm like, yo, I've been posting every day. What are you telling me? Like, I haven't stopped posting. The only time I stopped posting was when I got sick with that 19 thing. So, other than that, I really haven't stopped. But at this point, I get more engagement on TikTok, and on TikTok, I have less than 10,000 followers. I haven't really been doing a lot with TikTok until recently. I started posting more stuff because TikTok, I probably post like 2 videos a week. I won't really do anything, but as of like maybe a couple of weeks ago, I started to post more. So there's more engagement. My account jumped from like 1,000 to like 8,000 in less than a week. And I get more engagement on there. So I've been spending more time on TikTok than Instagram. So my posts are shorter because of that. Because TikTok, people have no attention span. But what happens is, a lot of people will see that because, I basically give you the Cliff's Notes in the TikTok post or in the Instagram post. Like, if you're watching this, you probably know that. But it's more annoying to make the smaller posts and condense a 30-minute video into a 2-minute video or a 30-second video or a 15-second video and try to get your point across. And it's impossible to do at times. These videos require little to no editing. The only editing that I really do is if I have to splice in like B-roll. What I mean by B-roll, if you don't know, is like when I talk about highest rated, which are in the beginning of this video, it splices in like, this rating, like I'll show you a picture or something like that. Sometimes I have to, only other thing I have to edit is sometimes the camera will actually have like a thing with write speed, which I haven't really run into a lot, but if you see like a small jump in things, it's because of that. But I don't really, like if I do something stupid in these videos, I just leave it in, which I will say in the video, like I'm not editing that, I don't give, so there's not really much editing in these videos. But the Instagram, TikTok ones, there's like a lot of editing. So I get more annoyed at those posts because I don't feel like doing it. Like these, I don't care. But those, I don't really feel like doing it, but I do it anyway. So a lot of people will see that post and start asking a billion questions that literally in the whole video, but they don't want to watch it, so they gotta ask me. Which I get from people that don't know me. But if you know me in real life and you ask me that, I like give you the middle finger. They're like, oh, I saw you ate at BJ's Brew House yesterday. How was it? Like, watch the fucking video, Dad. Because you ask me 50, like, if you just want to know if it was good, it says it in the 30-second one. I bite the pizza, I say, and then I go, it's good. What was on it? How much did it cost? I asked like 30 questions, like, yo, just watch the first 5 minutes, bro. Like, that's it. And the thing that really gets me, people do this on the internet too all the time. It baffles me. I'm becoming more in tune with Gen Z. I'm a millennial through and through. I am not even close to being Gen Z. You know? Like, if you're a Gen Zer, that means you were born after 97. No. Just no. So, but because of TikTok, it's bridging that gap for me. Starting to understand these little TikTok kids more. And Gen Alpha's not old enough yet, but they on there too. Like, anyway, because of all this stuff, the thing that always got me was the people when they ask you a question. Sometimes they ask you a question that is literally in the video they're commenting on. Like, they'd be like, where's the restaurant? In the first 5 seconds of video, it says, when we went to a place called, and they're like, where was it? And then 4 hours later, because sometimes I don't see comments, because when I post things, a lot of times, which I've said before, some people ask me in these captions too, why don't you answer all the comments? What you don't realize is, when I post at 6 p.m. Eastern time, around there every day. Sometimes the upload like doesn't work, so it takes a little longer, but right around there. What you don't realize is usually at that time, actually always at that time, I'm at work. I edit the video the night before, and it's scheduled to release at 6. If there's an issue, sometimes YouTube has like uploading issues, then it won't work, and I have to just like go in and manually do it. It happens. Anyway. People are like, you don't answer the question. I'm like, I'm literally working. Like, sometimes when the post goes live, I try to take 1 or 2 minutes to read comments, and then I have to go back to work. You know? Like, this isn't my job. Like, I don't know what time it is. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I've been doing stuff all night. So, people don't see that. But sometimes I'll answer the TikTok thing, answer it like 4 hours later. You know, somebody will say like, what was this? And I'm like, you know, it's in the video. I'll say something like that. Not rude, I'm just like, you scroll past it, it's right in the video. Or sometimes I'll say, it's in the video for further reference, or the full video for further reference. And then I'll answer it. And then sometimes other people will have already answered and be like, it's in the full video. And they will reply, I don't have time for that. It took longer for you to actually write that. You know what I'm saying? So that one always got me. People say they don't have time to do something, and it takes longer to do it the way because they don't want to do it. I do respect, because sometimes people be like, listen, I don't feel like watching that. I'm too lazy. That's the truth. Respect. But respect. Like, it's kind of douchey, but respect. You told the truth. Because that's the truth. I think the further along these generations are getting, the less attention span that they have. You know, I feel like if you were a part of Gen X, you watched full movies. Like, you didn't have YouTube or social media at all. So everything that you did was in its entirety. Especially if you were a Gen Xer and your adulthood, or you were graduating high school in the 80s. Because if you were a part of Gen X, you're after the baby boomers, which was 1965. And that goes all the way up to 1982. No, 1980, I should say. You are a Gen Xer. So in other words, you were reaching adulthood, early adulthood, teenage years in the 80s. So you didn't have the stuff that millennials had and so on. You didn't have cell phones at all. Only the really, really rich people had cell phones. And they were like, we call them the Zach Morris phone now, like Saved by the Bell, which is like my generation, but they were huge. And you didn't have the internet or any of that stuff. So because of that, if you wanted to enjoy something, you had to like get a movie. Like watch a movie, you know, go to a concert, listen to the radio, like things that we didn't necessarily have. And that's why I love this whole generational thing, because it just shows you like the advancements. But I feel like people's attention spans are relatively getting shorter. And I will tell you this, no matter what generation you're in, the generation before you will be old and cranky. Gen Z look at millennials like we're old heads and we're complaining about shit, which I get, because we did it with Gen X, and Gen X did it with the baby boomers, and so on and so forth. And you're going to look at Gen Alpha, which is a generation after you. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe Gen Z is 1997 to 2012. I think that's like the... So that means that like the Gen Zers are starting to be adults. Like, if you were born in 97, that makes you like 24, you know, and so on. The millennials are starting to turn 40. If you were born in... Oh, fuck, I can't think because I'm tired, but you get what I'm saying. The oldest millennials is 1981, which means that in 2021, millennials are starting to turn 40. Most millennials are in your 30s at this point. Like, you're turning 30 or you're in your 30s, right? So, because of that, we start looking at Gen Z like these kids don't know how easy they have it. And millennials were told that by Gen Xers, because as a millennial, I had the internet basically my whole life. Because the internet got really popular in the early mid-90s. Like, Windows 95, I remember coming out. Like, I was a fucking toddler. But I remember it coming... I wasn't a toddler. I was a really, really young kid. But I remember it coming out. And it changed everything. Just to be able to, like, research stuff on the internet and not have to go to the library and, like, electronic mail changed the world, bro. Like, Gen X, if you wanted to talk to somebody far away, you had to call them, and it was long distance because cell phones really weren't a thing. Like, now if I call my friend in California, they don't charge me extra. So, that changed the world. Now, you can, in the 90s, you could send somebody an email in, you know, Tokyo. It was different. It made the world a lot smaller. And it's something that a lot of the people we call old heads, like you were, like, you know, teenagers in the 80s, so you were listening to, like, funny stuff and to me and wearing funny clothes to me. You get what I'm saying? It's always that parallel. And we looked at them boys like they were funny. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no, like, oh, you got it so easy with all the computers and the internet and the World Wide Web. They called it that, like the World Wide Web. You know what I mean? So, we didn't have cell phones as kids, but we had cell phones by the time we were, like, reaching middle school. You know? Like, everybody had cell phones at that point. We only had, like, 2 cell phones. You had the Nokia that had Snake on it. And, like, BlackBerry. Y'all know what BlackBerry. Gen Z don't know about BlackBerry. BlackBerry was popping. But y'all know BBM. Before all this stuff, y'all know about that. And, you know, MySpace and stuff like that. So you got to meet people. And now millennials, in turn, look at a lot of Gen Zers, and you're like, you guys had cell phones as kids. You know, you were tweeting as kids. Like, stuff that we didn't get to do because we did it in an earlier age. And you're going to look at Gen Alpha exactly the same. I was talking to someone that is like in their 20s. So we were having a conversation about this kind of stuff in their early 20s, and they were talking about how they, because they just finished college. They were talking about how they were talking to a bunch of high school kids. Which, if you're in high school right now, that means you were later on in like the Gen Z thing, where you're borderline Gen Alpha. So, if you were born in 2008, you're like 14 at this point. 13, 14 years old. So, you're on the cusp. Just like people who were born in the late 90s. Like if you were born in 97, technically speaking, you're a millennial, but you identify more with Gen Z. You know. So they call them like zillennials. And there's always going to be stuff like that. And I said, wait till Gen Alpha become young adults. You're going to look at, y'all understand the world now, like the TikToks and the Vines and these 6-second videos, no attention span. In the 90s, we had the internet. So we didn't have to go. That's when like music stores died. We used to go to places like Sam Goody and Nobody Beats the Wiz when I was really young, like super young, and go get like the new Biggie CD. I remember, even though I was in like elementary school at this point, going to get the Biggie CD. It's a 2-part. Life After Death. You had to go to the store. When's the last time one of y'all went to a music store and got a CD? Ain't no. See, cars don't even have CD players anymore. All the millennials, the Gen Xers used to tell us that we had it so easy because we could listen to whatever song we wanted to. Because before that, you had a tape, bro. You know what you had to do with a tape? they always, this is what they used to just school me all. You know what you had to do with these tapes? They used to have to like rewind the tape to where, like, say you bought an album, right? Like everybody listens to new Kanye album or new Drake album. That's like the new thing people were talking about a couple weeks ago. So if you only like one song off that album, you had to find that shit. You had to go get it on this. You had to fast forward and rewind to find it. People started marking their tapes off and they'd tell me all the stories, or they would go on the radio. I used to do this when I was really, really young. If I heard a song on the radio, I used to have to put like a piece of like toilet paper or something in the tape to record over the shit so you could get it on the radio, because you couldn't just get it off the internet. So by the time I was like, you know, old enough where I was in the later elementary school years, you had like LimeWire and Napster where you could just type in the song and get it on MP3, and it was like mind-blowing. Y'all don't understand that. Because now, you want to hear a song, you just type it in. It comes up. You used to have to go to websites to find the lyrics to songs. Like, now there's like Genius, and if you type in any song on Google, the lyrics pop right up. And they sing them with you. Type in YouTube, they got the lyrics with the sing-along, little bouncing ball and shit. We didn't even have that. Well, we did. Gen X didn't. We did. When Gen X wanted to know the lyrics to the song, they just had to keep listening to that shit till they got it. Y'all understand where I'm coming from? So they had to pay a lot more attention than us. Like, we had to like just type it in the internet, we can get it. So we paid some attention. Gen X, they had to play it over and over again. All right, what's that one part? And go back. What's that one part? You gotta rewind it. Rewind! Like, DVDs, Gen Z don't even watch DVDs. We had DVDs. And they used to complain to us because you can just skip to whatever chapter you wanted on your DVD player. Because they couldn't do that. They go to Blockbuster. Most of y'all don't even know what Blockbuster is. I'm old enough to know Blockbuster. I was a Blockbuster. But there were DVDs at Blockbuster. I used to get DVDs. They used to get in fights with people because people would return the tapes to the movies that they wanted. And they weren't rewound. You know what I just said out loud? Imagine having to go get a physical copy of a movie. Like, VHS. We had VHSs in my house. But my mom bought all the DVDs and stuff. We had a bunch of old ones and shit. Like, you know, my sister would watch them. My sister older than me. So we had like some 80s stuff and like some of that stuff. But I was like, you know, and some of the stuff from the early 90s we did too. But I didn't really get anything until like 90, I don't know, like till the late 90s. I don't understand. Well, no. But yeah. You had to rewind. They used to like have a thing on the Blockbuster. I remember seeing this. It said, "Be kind, please rewind." Y'all don't know what it's like to want to watch a movie, because I had to deal with this. Because DVDs were like this too. Y'all know what it's like, because back then, all this streaming shit, and this is where we talk about attention spans again. Netflix. I remember when Netflix used to have physical DVDs. They got rid of that. Netflix used to be you would watch the movie and then send the shit back, and then send you another one. Imagine that. So they send you a whole other tape, whole other movie, a DVD. And I remember you go to Blockbuster. This is the days. This is like my DVDs. So a new movie would come out. You only had two options. You had to wait till it came out on DVD, or it came out on like HBO, right? Because HBO used to drop a new movie every Saturday. This was like their thing. But you were at the mercy of whatever they wanted unless you went to Blockbuster. And sometimes you go to Blockbuster, you would go specifically for one movie. This was like how, like, stay with me. So say I wanted to watch the new Terminator, right? I loved Terminator as a kid. I remember we had the tape, right? And it was, I don't know who bought the shit, but obviously I don't remember when Terminator came out, but I think Terminator came out in 91. That does nothing for me. So, by the time I was like a little kid, I watched Terminator all the time, like elementary school, like 5th grade, 6th grade. So, you know, around the turn of the century. And I remember when Terminator 3 came out. I think it was like 2003. And I wanted to see it. I think that's what year it was. But I was super excited about it because I watched it all the time. And I wanted to see it. And we went to the Blockbuster for that movie specifically. And we used to get the Blockbuster and they used to have them all lined up. Like all these movies. It'd be like thousands of movies just all over the place. And you had to go. They had the thing in the front and in the back. They had like the Blockbuster joint. And they'd be stacked up. Because that's like, you had to go up there with that one and then they would give you and put it in there. So I'd be like, okay, well, here's a Terminator case. And they're like, a Terminator, right? And then the fucking guy be like, oh, Terminator, dude. Put it in there. Oh, Arnold's awesome, dude. And hand to you. And I just remember sometimes you wanted to see a movie and it wasn't fucking there. Like, you couldn't get it. They didn't have it. Because everybody rented it already. So you had to wait. And you just had to wait. And you'd have to just keep popping back in and hoping the fucking thing was there. Imagine that! Like now, movie comes out, you just press a button, boop, this pops up and it streams on your TV. Because it was easier. Back then, I don't even know what the hell they did before that. What did you do before Blockbuster? New movie comes out. Wait, you didn't even watch shit at home, did you? Wait, when did HBO come out? 80s, right? I don't know. What did you do before that? Because people don't, I know this might blow some people's minds, especially the Gen Zers. HBO stands for Home Box Office. The whole point of HBO was because you were able to watch movies in your own house. Wow! Think about what I just said out loud. Like, seriously, what the fuck did you do? Like, if you didn't get to see a movie in the movies, how did you watch it? Like, what did you watch? Was that just it? Like, did you just fucking miss it? Like, it was just out. Like, there were no movies left. Bro, I just thought about that. I did not think about it right now, to this very minute. So, if there were no, like, wait, can someone born or was like alive in the 80s, like old in the 80s, like not old, but like grown enough, or if you were a kid, whatever. Can you please tell me what the fuck y'all did before HBO? Is there anybody out there who was born in the 70s? Because I feel old as hell because I'm talking about the 90s, right? Watching all these kid shows in the 90s and shit, but what the hell did you do What did you do? Star Wars came out in 1977. When did VHS come out? That stuff on VHS? When did VHS? In the 80s, right? That couldn't have been that early in the 80s. I'm Googling this. Hold on. This is what I mean. You couldn't do this. Did you have this conversation in 1988? You just... Where did you find out? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Now, I'm going to Google. Hold on. In 1982, 10% of households owned a VCR. What the fuck? You didn't do anything in your house. Wow. The figure reached 30% in 1985. Bro, my mind is blown right now. I don't even feel like eating no more. Let's just vibe. I want that ice cream. I can't eat that. That's why. So you're telling me, I'm gonna at least eat the chicken. Gotta give me protein in it. I've been talking so damn much because my mind is just blown. You're telling me you understand what I just said out loud? That's the light blows my mind. Like, I was thinking about it because I don't really go to the movies a lot, personally. Like, I like watching stuff in my own house. At this point, I have, a pretty big flat screen, a 4K, Ultra, UHD, upscale, blah, 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 all that stuff. Booming sound system. So if I want to watch a movie, I don't watch it at home. Not some little shit throwing popcorn in the back of my head, because I'm going to beat the shit out of somebody one day, and I don't want to go to jail. So, there we go. I just do this. And now, after 2020, a lot of things are being released that you can just watch it at home. W for me. W behavior. But if this was 1981 and I wanted to go to the movie, I had to go. You had to go. You ever see what TVs used to look like? I remember when I was super young. So I'm talking like mid-90s. We used to all go to my uncle's house to watch the boxing matches. Like fights. Like Holyfield, Tyson. Back in like the heavyweight days. I don't think Tyson was even fighting. No, I think Tyson... Okay, they used to tell me Mike Tyson was really... Because I loved boxing now, but Mike Tyson was like... In the 80s, was like crazy. And then Buster Douglas, whole thing, doesn't matter. So we used to watch these fights because he had a big screen. Looking back, you know what this big screen looked like? It looked like a giant trash disposal, bro. It was huge. It had to be maybe like 40 inches, the whole TV. The sound was horrible, but back then people were like, whoa, and the TV was thick. I mean, it was bigger than me, bro. Like, the back of it was like, the TV was against the wall, but it was like 3 feet away from the wall. It was huge. Now people have flat screens. I remember buying a flat screen. I had a summer job. I got a summer job just to buy a TV. I swear to you, I worked all summer when I was a teenager. TVs were so expensive back then. I worked all summer to get a flat screen TV. It cost like $800, and it was 37 inches, which by standards these days, it's like a ripoff. And it was like not even a good. It was a Vizio, and Vizio wasn't even really popping back then. Vizio got popping like in the 2010s. Imagine. I worked 8 weeks to get enough money to buy a flat screen television for $800. And it was like thick. Like, if I'm holding it this way, the TV was like this thick. It was huge by today's standards, because now you got like the razor thin joints right against the wall. Like, my TV now is super thin. And it's curved for her pleasure. But if you got this far, we are now day 8 of In Your Windows. Anyway, let me finish my protein, at the very least. I got way too into this conversation. Rice is banging though. But just shows you how much times have changed and why things were, attention span wise, we were all just messed up. And you're gonna look, I don't even know what the technology is gonna be like. But you Gen Zers, which there's no way you're still watching this at this point, because y'all don't have the attention spans. The people who watch my whole videos are millennials and Gen Xers and so on. Ain't no way. Ain't no Gen Zers watching. Y'all will sit there and watch the Avengers for fucking 4 hours. But Shit like this? No. 3 seconds or less. That's it. I'm surprised they made the videos that long on TikTok. Y'all ain't watching that shit. Anyway, the hell's tomorrow? Friday. I'm still not sure when Unfiltered is coming back. Again, Sam was under the weather and like antibiotics and all sort of stuff. Like again, he's not like sick, but he can't really, you know, he's been on the mend. So it'll be back sooner than later. I'm really not sure about tomorrow. And yeah, that's it. Other than that, ice cream is a banger. We'll be back tomorrow. More content. I love y'all hand signs. They made it to YouTube.